live on your side. This is WBRC 6 News Now.
Good afternoon. Welcome into WBRC Now. I'm Claire Huddleston live in our WBRC First Digital First Media Center. We're going to start with some breaking news today. Attorneys representing the Jabari Peoples family back in court today alongside with attorneys representing the city of Homewood. Peoples' lawyers filed a petition to see another view of the video from the night of that fatal shooting with the Homewood Police Department that killed Jabari. Today, the attorneys asked to dismiss the petition, also known as Rule 27, stating that the video they saw today was not different from the one they watched with the Jefferson County District Attorney. Here's Jabari Peoples' family with more.
It was quite clear as far as sound and quality. It was still trying to figure out exactly what's happening. Everything is moving fast within it. But I think right now our plan is the same. It looks like we have enough here for a lawsuit for sure. We think Jabari was trying to get away. He was shot in the back. And so nothing has changed from what Attorney Crump, our attorneys, other attorneys associated with the case, or myself have said.
As you heard him say, Tillman says that the family plans to file a lawsuit and they are still requesting more information from Aaliyah and the city of Homewood. Of course, we'll have more coming up in our evening newscasts. Well, Alabama death row inmate Jeffrey West is scheduled to be executed tonight by nitrogen hypoxia. He was convicted of murdering Margaret Berry in Etowah County back in 1997. Berry's son says he forgives West and has pleaded with Governor Ivey to reduce his sentence. The governor has indicated the execution will move forward. Your reporter Taylor Pollock will be live in Atmore tonight, and we'll have more coverage coming up in our evening and late night newscasts. New today, a Hoover man has pleaded guilty to hiring someone to kill his wife and 6 children. 64-year-old Mohammed entered his plea to 7 counts of murder for hire. Court documents say Mohammed met with an undercover officer who he thought was a hitman. He allegedly offered to pay $20,000 for the murder of his wife and an additional $5,000 for each of his 6 kids. He faces up to 10 years in prison for each count. All right, well, we still have rain in our forecast for this evening. We've seen a lot of rain so far. We're going to check in with Mickey Ferguson for what we're expecting tonight.
Well, Claire, as we make our way into this afternoon, we're looking at our temperature readings warming up into the low 80s, and we could still see some isolated showers more relegated into our eastern counties. Might even see a few garden variety thunderstorms, but we're no longer under that risk, that marginal risk that we saw yesterday for severe storms, so that has subsided for us. But we could still see some scattered showers going into Friday as well. Let me take a look at a different forecast model associated with that. And yeah, on Friday we could see maybe some showers that could be developing mainly in our eastern counties, but all those should stay below severe limits as well. Beyond this, as we make our way into the weekend, we're looking at maybe a shower or 2 in East Alabama on Saturday. The vast majority of us are expected to stay dry this weekend. And as we make our way into next week, just a spotty shower or 2. But not much to write home about. So your extended forecast shows still a 40% chance of rain, mostly for East Alabama for this afternoon and into this evening. And then the percentages taper off going into the weekend. As we glance at our extended forecast going into midweek next week, looks like those highs are going to stay shy of the low 90s. So it looks like we'll be hanging out in the 80s for the 7-day haul. That's our forecast there, Claire. Back over to you.
Thank you, Mickey. We're going to check on our roads right now, and we are actually accident-free, which is great news. I'm going to zoom in to see if we see any slowdowns anywhere. Just a few slowdowns on 65 southbound there by University Boulevard headed towards Green Springs. A little bit of slowdown just past 459 on 280 outbound. So I'll watch those spots to see if a crash icon pops up there. But otherwise, we are looking pretty good, which is great news. Of course, we'll continue to monitor this and provide you updates. Well, new today, this is a first of its kind in Jefferson County. Construction is underway on the county's first ever diverging diamond interchange. This is going in at exit 104 on I-5920 in McCalla. Crews are building a new parallel bridge alongside the current overpass. The new DDI design shifts traffic briefly to the left side of the road, then back again. Engineers saying this makes left turns onto the interstate easier and safer, and it should be finished sometime in 2026. Well, bringing American history closer to home, today Governor Kay Ivey cut the ribbon on the next phase of Independence Hall at the American Village in Montevallo. But sadly, just hours before that ceremony, we learned the founder of American Village, Tom Walker, passed away. We're told he considered this building the crowning glory of the Montevallo campus. This replica building is modeled after Philadelphia's original landmark, where the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were debated and adopted. And it was Tom Walker's goal to construct Independence Hall, a vision that is now reality.
I personally watched Tom Walker grow this village from a few buildings in 1999 into this amazing American history campus that you see here today. It is a gift to our nation and to the people of our state. And on the eve of America's 250th birthday, Alabama's children are truly blessed to have this shrine in our democracy right here in their backyard.
Independence Hall is now a prominent focal point inside American Village, honoring American history and a visionary who left a mark on education in our state. Well, locked in a standoff with congressional Democrats, the White House Budget Office has told federal agencies to prepare for mass firings if the federal government shutdown happens next week. Karen Kafa has more on what we can expect from Washington.
The federal workforce has already been rocked by mass firings and confusing rehiring since the Trump administration took office in January. Now the White House Budget Office wants agencies to draw up plans for mass layoffs if Congress fails to meet a funding deadline next week. A memo from the White House Office of Management and Budget directs federal agencies to identify programs whose funding will lapse if Congress does not reach a funding agreement by September 30th. The memo says those programs should be targeted for sweeping reductions in force that could permanently eliminate jobs deemed, quote, not consistent with President Donald Trump's priorities. Democrats at odds with the White House over expiring health care subsidies for millions of Americans say the move would be completely inconsistent with previous shutdowns.
Their answer is, if you don't let us cut their health care, we'll fire more people. That is an outrageous statement against hardworking families in this country.
President Donald Trump laying blame for the standoff on Democrats.
Well, this is all caused by the Democrats. They asked us to do something that's totally unreasonable. They never change.
While certain core services remain uninterrupted, like Social Security, law enforcement, and air traffic control, each shutdown brings different plans for which additional workers remain on the job without pay until the government is funded again. And there have been real consequences of the Trump administration's cuts to government jobs, according to a report released on Thursday. An annual survey by the Capital Area Food Bank says that the percentage of people in the Washington, D.C. area experiencing the most severe level of food insecurity has increased, exacerbated in recent months by cuts to the federal workforce and funding. In Washington, I'm Karen Kafa.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to have more on so-called nightmare bacteria that's resistant to antibiotics. We'll have more on that just after this break.
When it comes to weather coverage, frankly, you deserve more.
And you get more with First Alert Weather. We've got more eyes working as a team, watching the radar, keeping you safe.
More coverage all morning, all evening. Staying local, giving you the First Alert way ahead of any warning.
With more ways to get the First Alert, we're on your side no matter where you are, no matter how you watch.
And giving you the most accurate forecast so you have more time to plan.
Because when we know it, you'll know it.
Bottom line, you get more, and you get it first with the First Alert Weather Team.
Stories from your community with more reporters in more places.
Your reporter in Leeds, Taylor Pollock, WBRC 6 News on your side.
Every morning you expect the unexpected. A mess on the highway, your kids' latest crisis. All 4 seasons in one day. It's Alabama. You need a morning team
that gets you ready for everything.
Ready for the backup with a better route. Ready for Mother Nature with the First Alert from Alabama's biggest weather team. We put you first with the most local morning news to get you ready for everything. Good Day Alabama, every morning, ready for everything.
Stories from your community with more reporters in more places.
Your reporter in Homewood, Brady Talbert, WBRC 6 News on your side.
WBRC is on your side in every way. We put the power in your hands.
Literally. Download the WBRC streaming app so you don't miss out.
Streaming live and on demand with news and weather.
And the best part is, it's free.
Find out what's going on in your community, your neighborhood.
24/7 access to the news and weather that you want.
WBRC 6 News.
On your side. Hey, look, this is my favorite part. Oh.
Search WBRC wherever you stream. Stories from your community with more reporters in more places.
Your reporter in Jasper, Lauren Harkson, WBRC 6 News, on your side.
A new report links air pollution to poor eyesight in children. A study of nearly 30,000 Chinese school children found that kids exposed to higher levels of dust, smoke, and nitrogen dioxide were more likely to develop myopia, a condition that causes distant objects to appear blurry. Nitrogen dioxide is a gas that comes from fuel combustion in vehicles, power plants, and industrial facilities. The research also looked at genetics and lifestyles and concluded that lack of sleep and extended screen time increased the risk for poor eyesight. However, it found genetics was the strongest factor, though, for poor vision. Well, cases of drug-resistant bacteria, also known as nightmare bacteria, spiking in the U.S., and the strain appears to be resistant to most antibiotics, which is pretty scary to think about. Fox's Lauren Green takes a look at the numbers and has more on what it takes to fight this infection.
Officials in the U.S. are sounding the alarm over a new health threat, nightmare bacteria. Infection rates from the dangerous bacteria increased over 70% from 2019 to 2023, according to the CDC.
We're not even on the lookout for these infections early enough, so this is a wake-up call.
The new bacteria is extremely difficult to treat thanks to a gene called NDM, which makes it resistant to most antibiotics. So far, only 2 drugs are able to control it, and to make matters worse, they are expensive and must be administered through an IV.
This particular bug does concern me because the only 2 antibiotics we have for it, you have to use in the hospital.
Many health officials say the misuse of antibiotics contributes to the rise in drug-resistant bacteria. When a prescription is unfinished or unnecessary, the germs it doesn't kill can grow stronger.
Let's use artificial intelligence to develop new antibiotics to fight this bacteria.
What are the symptoms?
Other thing, let's not overuse antibiotics in the hospital because that creates the drug resistance.
Infection rates are still low across the U.S., but it's likely many people are carriers, which could lead to community spread. In New York, Lauren Green, Fox News.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at Gen Z's credit score. Stay with us.
When it comes to weather coverage, frankly, you deserve more.
And you get more with First Alert Weather. We've got more eyes working as a team, watching the radar, keeping you safe.
More coverage all morning, all evening. Staying local, giving you the first alert way ahead of any warning.
With more ways to get the first alert, we're on your side no matter where you are, no matter how you watch.
And giving you the most accurate forecast so you have more time to plan.
Because when we know it, you'll know it.
Bottom line, you get more, and you get it first with the First Alert Weather Team.
Stories from your community with more reporters in more places.
Your reporter in Alabaster. I'm Ajane Robinson, WBRC 6 News, on your side.
Every morning, you expect the unexpected. A mess on the highway, your kids' latest crisis. All 4 seasons in one day. It's Alabama. You need a morning team.
That gets you ready for everything.
Ready for the backup with a better route. Ready for Mother Nature with the first alert from Alabama's biggest weather team. We put you first with the most local morning news to get you ready for everything. Good day, Alabama. Every morning, ready for everything.
Stories from your community with more reporters in more places.
Your reporter in Birmingham, James Giles, WBRC 6 News, on your side.
WBRC is on your side in every way. We put the power in your hands.
Literally. Download the WBRC streaming app so you don't miss out.
Streaming live and on demand with news and weather.
And the best part is, it's free.
Find out what's going on in your community, your neighborhood.
24/7 access to the news and weather that you want.
WBRC 6 News.
On your side. Hey, look, this is my favorite part. Oh.
Search WBRC wherever you stream. Stories from your community with more reporters in more places.
Your reporter in Trussville. I'm Jillian Brooks for WBRC 6 News, on your side.
A new report finds Gen Z's credit scores are headed south, while a Wall Street Journal op-ed asks if this generation is unemployable. Fox's Kelly Saberi with more on what's up with Gen Z.
A new report finding Gen Z is facing a harsh new financial reality. Their credit scores are plunging. The average FICO score of 676 is well below the national average of 715. Experts say pandemic spending, student loans, and poor money habits are all factors. Meanwhile, a new Wall Street Journal op-ed asks this question: is Gen Z unemployable? Hiring managers prize achievement, learning, and work. Today's youth value pleasure and individuality. It's written by Susie Welch, a professor at NYU's Stern School of Business, the widow of legendary business executive Jack Welch. In it, she details findings of her research, which she says, quote, agitated nearly everyone. One of her most startling findings, just 2% of Gen Z members hold the values that companies want most in new hires, namely achievement, learning, and an unbridled desire to work.
A lot of Gen Z grew up in a participation trophy culture where winning or achieving was diluted, and even if you lose, you still win, you still get a trophy. So that's a huge issue. But I have found over the course of the last year some incredible Gen Z hires.
Take a look at hiring managers' desired values for new employees. Number one is achievement, wanting accomplishments and success other people can see. That comes in 11th for Gen Z, with 61% saying they wish they had less of it in their lives. Number two, scope, desire for learning, action, and stimulation. That's 10th for Gen Z. Number three is work centrism, the desire to work for work's sake. 9th for Gen Z, and only 2% of Gen Z respondents identified achievement, scope, and work centrism in their top 5 values.
It takes so much work to onboard a young person who doesn't have experience with basic, email and Microsoft tools. We can get what they deliver with AI now. So I think there's a big risk to what's going to happen with these kids.
A recent national survey shows 65% of Gen Z believe a college degree alone won't protect them from AI disruption. 53% are seriously considering blue-collar or skilled trade work. In Chicago, Kelly Saberi, Fox Business.
All right, we're going to check in with Mickey Ferguson right now for our first alert forecast and some rain chances over the next couple of days.
Well, Claire, as we make our way into this afternoon, we're looking at our temperature readings warming up into the low 80s. Some places just may warm up into the 70s going into later on today. And then by this evening, we could still pick up on a few isolated showers and maybe a few garden variety thunderstorms, but we're not looking at a chance of severe weather. That marginal risk that we were anticipating for yesterday for our area, that's it's been canceled by the Storm Prediction Center, and it just looks like we're going to look at more stable air with temperatures cooling off into the 80s for the next few days. Friday brings another slight chance of rain, but no severe storms, and it's just going to be a little bit cooler out there for the next few days. This weekend, Saturday brings a slight chance of a shower into East Alabama. Not much. I think that most of us should stay dry for Saturday, Sunday, and just a very slim chance of rain going into next week. So we can see it all in our extended forecast here with highs in the low 80s today and tomorrow, mid 80s going into the weekend, and a little bit warmer for next week, but still not quite making it into the 90s with very slim rain chances. That's our forecast, Claire. Have a great afternoon.
All right, thank you, Mickey. We're going to check on our roads. We are still accident-free in the metro area. Oh my goodness, one just popped up. I spoke too soon. This is a moderate crash, 65 northbound at exit 262A, that 16th Street exit in Birmingham. So I'm going to click on this camera, see if we can see anything right here. Again, it just popped up, so it might be too early for them to move the cameras to this accident. So we're going to check it out and see. Again, it's on the northbound side, so you might start to encounter some delays in a little bit, not seeing the actual accident there. So again, we're going to monitor that, not showing any of the lane closures, but hopefully that will get cleared up for you soon. Other than that, we are looking green and clean, looking good on this Thursday afternoon. We hope that your ride home is just as smooth. Of course, we'll have updates coming up in our evening newscast, so we hope you'll join us for that. And we want to thank you for joining us today for WBRC Now.